Hello everybody. I hope everyone is okay. These are the pictures of a trip I made to what they call Buyuk Ada, which in Turkish means big island. As everybody knows, Bosphorus Strait um, cuts off the European part of Istanbul from the Asian part. Istanbul is a huge city, and you could say I've been to most European uh, cities like Amsterdam, Paris, London, and other places. And of all the countries, of all the big cities I've seen in Europe, I think Istanbul, particularly around Bosphorus Strait, is the most beautiful city in Europe. It's just very, very impressive. There is a mood and feeling to it that you cannot find even in Paris. At any case, the water that separates the European part from the Asian part, there are some islands in that area. And then what you need to do is usually you can take a ferry or ship to those islands, and one of the ferries is basically fast, and I guess you pay a little bit more. The other ferries are kind of slow, which doesn't really make that much of a difference because these islands are not very far. So when you're in Istanbul and you're from the European side, I went to Eminönü, or you could say Eskudar, that's the port. And from Eskudar or Eminönü's area, you can see the ships and the ferries, or you can ask. You can say Buyuk Ada, the big island. There are other islands, of course, but as the name implies, this is probably the biggest one. And I can't remember how long it took to get there. I went with a friend of mine, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and this was quite a few years back. At any case, when you get there, I think we took the ferry, which was the cheaper option. And once we got to the island, it was very nice. They're hilly. I mean, the island is hilly. There are lots, hills, and then green pasture and some sort of forest on top of the hills. If you walk up to the top of the hills, then you can see below. You can see the ships going back to the ports of, I think, European side or the Asian side of Istanbul, and it's very nice. At any case, there are markets, there are people living there, and there are big houses made of wood that, to me, they look like old mansions. They're very big, very impressive, 2 or 3 story high, and their pictures are here. I took pictures of the forest or the green pastures on the tops of the hills. At least one hill that me and my friend, and my friend, we climbed it. And then looked down, and I took some more pictures. There are many animals, just like the rest of Turkey, the rest of Istanbul. There are a lot of dogs, there are a lot of cats, and for most part, these cats and dogs are left alone. Nobody bothers them, as far as I know, and then they even feed them. So there are a lot of stray cats, a lot of stray dogs, and the dogs are usually docile. I mean, they're not going to attack you. And I've seen many of them, some in Istanbul in group, which is kind of scary because they're kind of big dogs. At any case, there are markets, there are fish markets. Obviously, seafood can be found at a reasonable price. I don't know about now because the inflation in Turkey is very, very high, and so it's hard to tell how much, I guess, a good meal costs you there. But anyway, I highly recommend it to you, at least to go see this island, maybe one island. As I mentioned, there are other islands. They're probably smaller, but you can see the magnificent houses in this little video, and then look at, I guess, so there are some pictures of how I got there. The ship, I took a picture of the bow of the ship. I think it's called bow, or the front of the ship. And there are a lot of tourists. A lot of them are Turkish tourists. They're not necessarily from other countries, but at any case, it should be fun for you. And then also the trip to it, and coming back is very nice, and hopefully you enjoy it. You know, the Turkish people are big tea drinkers, and their tea tastes different. Has a sort of like, I don't want to say bitter taste, but has a kick to it. And they serve it in small glasses, special glasses that is made in Turkey. And I think they put sugar in it, and that's